Hey family, it's Tasha. I'm already prepping. You already know what time it is, baby. Get your drink, pull up. Let's talk about it. Today, we're just going to have a discussion about things that are going on in general, things that I'm watching in the world or tracking. You know, there's stuff that I'm constantly making sure that I'm researching, watching, checking up on, doing a Google search from time to time to see what's new, what's the latest and greatest. You know, some channels like mine are dedicating certain videos to these things, but obviously I don't want to bring you the same video over and over. I just want to I guess share with you, even during the holiday stuff that I'm still tracking. One of the biggest things that's going on right now that I'm sure a lot of you are tracking as well, and that's the railroad strike, right? And what's going to happen with that, what's going on with it. I did a video before talking about they were going to go back to the tables of negotiation on 19th. And right off the bat, there was not agreement. Okay. Right off the bat, this last Monday, there was not agreement. And, I guess what's today? Today's Tuesday. Yeah. So yesterday there was not agreement. So you can find all types of articles on the fact that they're not agreeing. They're holding out, and negotiations are happening right this whole entire period right now through Thanksgiving and all into next month. I believe it's like the 9th of December, I think is the deadline for them to come to an agreement. I mean, it's a couple dozen different unions, and again, it only takes one, because although some of them are going ahead and voting, let's move forward, they're okay. But those votes are very close. You have those companies that are like, 50 and 40, percentile. And so they're barely, passing. And then you have ones that are totally, they're just holding out, and they're going to continue to hold out. And I think that they will continue to do that. They're standing their ground for their personal rights for days off and paid days off. That's what it comes down to, as their personal, those side benefits. And they matter, especially in the world today. I mean, another thing I'm tracking is all this medical stuff going on. And imagine, you have a job where you work so hard. I mean, they work, those guys and gals, a lot, hardcore. And to then say, as a thank you, that we're not even going to honor you with a certain amount of, a respectable number of days off for whatever. Everybody needs days off. Everybody. Okay. I don't care if it's because you need to take care of an ailing parent, something happened with your children in school that you need to take care of, people are ill. I don't care what it is. It's just a mental health day. Everybody, to be successful in the work environment, needs days off. Okay. And so I'm with them for fighting for that. I know that it will be traumatic, to say the least, if we actually go even a couple days on a strike. Even a couple days with a bona fide, all of the trains stop. That's like billions and billions and billions of dollars, and billions of, product that won't be moving. And in a time, to be honest, that's not good, right? The time that people are like, they're expecting to buy stuff and they're expecting it to come to their doorstep, because it's Christmas and people are going to be panicking. Now, I know a lot of people that watch this channel, you've already been preparing for that, or you've already, because of inflation, figured out how you're gonna do Christmas, whether it's more homemade type stuff. We're doing the same. We're not going crazy. I told myself we have a ton of Christmas decorations because I love this time of year. We get a little bit every year, so we have decades and decades of Christmas decorations. I'm gonna go ham on that stuff, right? The lights, the decorations in every room's, trees, I'm going ham on that stuff. However, the presents, the gifting, all of that is being scaled back. We're not going hard in the paint this year. Absolutely not. The prices are too much, not to mention it puts a pressure on anybody that you are getting a gift for. It puts that added pressure on them now. It's just a real bad cycle, if you will, when, times are hard and you're wanting to do something nice for something, but then that's a lot of pressure because people, instinctively want to go, return the favor and get you something. And so, and if you're like me, I enjoy the gifting part. And so, we're going to do a lot of homemade type gifts. I'm going to do a lot of candles and soaps and different stuff that I made. Maybe crochet some stuff, but it's going to be all homemade stuff, right? We're not going hard in the paint at all this year. But things I'm watching, you know, we have the family here, we have my in-laws here, and there's a lot of caregiving been going on. And so we haven't been going out, and I've been paying attention to the RSV and the flu and the, you know, COVID and all the stuff going on right now. You know, a lot of people are out and about, but we haven't done a lot of other side stuff because of that. You know, I can't afford for parents to get sick, especially pops right now. But I've been watching that. I've also been watching, and I'm sure people don't want to hear it, but monkeypox is still happening. Ebola is still happening. You know, Uganda, they're going through it, okay? People are still dying over there. Ebola is still happening. That's still an outbreak. And we, as a country, behind the scenes, are still supposedly preparing for that. We're doing, you know, the last stuff I read, we've been doing some exercises. We still have the 5 airports that are, you know, doing a lot of the incoming traffic from Uganda. Any of those travelers are going there, and they're doing big screenings, and they're, you know, watching people and you know, doing their whole job with following through. You know, but I tell you, this type of thing, you know, no matter what you do to be proactive, and it seems like we're being proactive, it does seem like that, but it really isn't that hard for something to get through and make it past. And, you know, viruses and diseases are a nasty thing that are not always easily explained or understood. And so for me, that is always something, because the minute it's here, and I know people will be like, we've had Ebola in country before, it's no big deal. Okay, cool. MAMABEAR syrup, cool. That's cool. You know, you were, you know, allowed to have your opinions. You're allowed to think the way you want to think. By all means, go ahead and do that. But this is something that I take very, very serious. We prepare for this. We prep for this. Because if this comes, you know, it's locked down. Our home is locked down. Nobody's going to have to tell us, you know, you got to stay home. There's not going to be any kind of political agendas of like, they want us to stay home and do this and do that. No, we're cool, babe. Cool. Like, that's what we're going to do. We're not going to be out and about with Ebola on the streets. But nothing to be panicked about. It's just something that I, from time to time, keep my eye on. I check on it every probably 3 or 4 days on the status of what things are. And it is what it is, right? Other stuff I'm watching, shortages. You know, I told you about the Rite Aid that I walked into. You know, I think that was a fluke for this area. I mean, I don't know what's going on there. It's the exact same when I popped in there the other day. There's shortages. What I am seeing that I'm loving is that these stores do have sales going on, especially for Thanksgiving stuff. You know, this time of year, some stuff goes up and some stuff goes down, right? And they have sales to get people to come to their store to get their Thanksgiving food from their store, right? But I'm seeing stuff stocked very, very well. I'm seeing in regards to Thanksgiving stuff. I am seeing stuff that there's holes, but everybody's buying this stuff, right? And so of course, it's every year there's going to be holes especially if you're waiting till last minute. But pleasantly surprised with the sales that I'm seeing. What I would tell you, baby, right now is if you've got any kind of extra money, like, this is the time to get those items stocked up, and then you can stock up, you know, your Thanksgiving meal items and Christmas meal items now for super, super cheap, and get that stuff for the next 5 years, right? And get enough for the next 5 years. Easily, because, you know, a lot of the stuff we make for Thanksgiving isn't over the top type ingredients. That's what's lovely, right? It's the turkey or ham that you have to buy, but everything else is relatively, you know, on the cheaper side. It's not like through the roof, right? So that's something to be grateful for in general, right? But easily you could stock up on this stuff. I think that, you know, I'm watching the war, the stuff on Ukraine. You know, I obviously was watching stuff with Poland. I watched Belarus a little bit. I've just been trying to pay attention. I watch a couple channels that some people don't appreciate, but I actually appreciate. Even though I know, you know, you got to take stuff with a grain of salt, but there's a couple channels I watch that I know a bunch of you guys can't stand them. They're just fear beyond is how you feel about them. But I feel like I'm smart enough individual to decipher the stuff that is, you know, stinky bull and the stuff that is like legit good intel. It's good intel. And so it's a good way to stay up on stuff with some of these channels that I know not everybody appreciates. But staying up on that, trying to just stay ahead of that, and just keeping my ear to the ground and head on a swivel, because, you know, anything can happen. Been watching and keeping an eye on North Korea. You know, they're doing a lot of really sus, okay? We call that sus AF, right? Real sus, the stuff that they're doing, the moves they are making, especially in the way they're making them and the timing that they're making them. It's not good, and it's nothing to laugh at and be ignored and be like, oh, they're just acting like little kids, because in a lot of ways that is kind of what it is. But it's dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. And so you know, you just got to stay up on your stuff, stay up on your preps, stay up on your list of things that you still need to get. You know, your heating items, your grid down items, I think that needs to be a priority. I think especially if you live in the UK, but even the East Coast, even the United States are being warned we're going to have blackouts. Now, we were warned that summer blackouts, and there was rolling blackouts everywhere. I don't know that any one place got it like just horrible, right? Like weeks upon weeks. But winter's a different ball game, right? It's hard and difficult to stay warm. And so I hope that you guys are putting heating preparedness to the forefront of the requirements and the things that you need to get, right? If you're putting stuff in a priority list, having the ability to keep your family warm is important. And even if that's some extra blankets, go to a thrift store, get you some extra blankets, get that extra stuff to be warm, extra gloves. But if you're able to get another heat source, do that. If you're thinking you have some more money and you're thinking, okay, what's the best thing to get? What should we get? You know, get that wood stove and get that cords and cords of wood stacked up in a way where you're, you know, not all your neighbors and everybody can see what you have. Because I think that stuff is going to be very, very important later. Okay. In the meds, you know, I've been heavy on meds because we've been caregiving. I've been heavy on, okay, we need to concentrate on these specific items. I am going to do a video on the things that I've learned as far as caregiving and the items that we have just gone through and have needed for different events that have happened. And so anybody who caregives, I think, will appreciate that. But anybody who thinks they're going to have to be caregiving, I mean, I think caregiving is one of those things that everybody should be preparing for, because the day is coming. It's only a matter of time before you're trying to take care of a parent or a family member or yourselves, your significant other. Something happens to your children. I mean, there's all types of scenarios that could land you in a caregiving type scenario. Okay. And so those preps are, I can't even stress how important these preps are. And we've had them in the past, but until you've gone through something, then you really see the exact things you needed. So things that you thought you needed that you haven't needed, things that you absolutely need and need a lot of, right? So I've been doing a lot of research, best products, all types of stuff myself. So that video will be coming so I can show you guys that. But for the most part, I'm calm in regards to what's going on in the world. I'm definitely got my eye on it. I'm definitely paying attention. It's just that, you know, life is happening, right? Real life is happening here in my home right now. You know, the weather is crazy. God bless those on the East Coast and, you know, that northern territories, all those areas with that heavy snow. God bless you, because I think of like what I'm going through right now just in my everyday little life here. And then I think if we lost power, like the other day, I had a little bit of a panic attack, and it wasn't long and it was quick, but I just, because I started thinking all the stuff we're doing every day. And then I immediately thought for a second, oh, how would this change if we didn't have power? And it just blew my mind. I was like, oh my goodness. So that, you know, brought more awareness to me of like this area that I prepare for grid down in a lot of ways. And I'm like beyond ready in a lot of ways. But you throw a wrench, you throw another piece into it, and it's like, are you ready though? So just really make sure that you are continuing to do the things, get the things, and think about all the people that might be in your life that you might need to take care of during a bad situation and how that will affect you. Okay. But we'll go from there. Let's see what else. Oh, the tincture. So the tincture video I did the other day, gonna be doing a bunch more. I've never really videoed those, but yeah, that's the first time that I think I've actually videoed doing a tincture, but I do them all the time. So I'll probably be doing more canning. So once the folks leave, I'll probably be doing more canning videos, my food preservation videos, my tinctures, some of the other stuff that I do on a daily basis that I don't do videos on, right? I can't just have a video on me all day long videoing, okay? And so I'll be bringing that stuff to the Homestead channel to kind of build that up. I need to get that channel monetized. So if you're trying to support me, you're, in a way that is, has nothing to do with money, you can help me by going to that other channel. The link is in the description box. And just, I don't have but a handful of videos. So just do me a solid, turn them on and just let them play so I can get those watch hours up. I might be close to halfway. Last time I looked, I was under 2,000 hours, and I think you need 4. But that will help overall pushing that channel, getting affiliation started, different things for that channel. Because ideally, that's where my heart is, guys. If you don't know that about me already, that living that lifestyle, living that self-sufficient. See, you guys watching me do that literally from scratch, from the ground. We're building this up as a family. And so the things that I do every day that I don't show you a lot on this channel, or the things that, are kind of the core of that channel. And so I am excited to build that channel up. Because it's not like, oh, let me just think about what's in the news and what I want to talk about over here and how that has to do with preparedness. More of, this is the action stuff. This is us actually living our everyday life over here, and you getting to see a little piece of that. So I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are having a good week. I hope you guys are not stressed out. I was stressed out a little bit yesterday when I went shopping for the last minute, all the stuff for food. We have a lot of people coming, so the house is going to be totally packed on Thanksgiving, which is exciting though. Little stressful for me, but I thrive in stress sometimes. So I'm still looking forward to it. But if you're the mama bear or papa bear that is doing all the things in regards to, you're cooking, doing the cooking, you're doing all the stuff to prepare, you're doing all the appetizers, you're doing all this stuff, right? Take a minute to breathe. Take a minute to walk away. Get you a coffee, get you a little drink, walk away, go outside, walk around the garden, get some fresh air, and then head back to the people, right? There's a reason why people come to your house, and that should come from a loving place, that you have a home that people would actually want to come and hang out in, right? Enjoy your family, enjoy your kids, play lots of board games, beat everybody's butt. I told everybody I'm going to be beating everybody in all the games, so get ready. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I think you should emotionally get ready for it. And we'll see. So I hope you guys are doing the same thing, getting ready for family or getting ready to go to family. And even of those that are there by yourself and you're like, we don't have a lot of family or we're not going, just know I'm there with you, having a drink. Think about me sitting there with you, kicking it up, chit-chatting. And have a beautiful holiday, okay? And be thankful. You can be thankful for what you have and your blessings you have by yourself as well, just as much as you can with having a bunch of folks around, okay? But at a minimum, know that there's folks across the world, all over the United States, all over the world that are just like you, baby, and are doing the things just like you. And sometimes we find ourselves alone, and that's okay, okay? That's okay. So cheers to you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.